All right, welcome to another episode of Inside the Mind of the Bird. I am the host, Scuba Steve, and I'm here with Bo and Cam. Y'all want to say hey?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
are you guys doing this morning?
We're
This
doing
good,
all right.
great sunshine morning.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Sun, sunshiny morning.
And today we joined by special guests. This is a second time on friends of the pod, close friends now. You know what I'm saying? I've actually met them, both met them. Cam didn't pull up the DreamCon, but that's another thing. But we joined by the boys of Concept Moon, BD and Strange
Hey,
Keith.
Yo, yo, what's going on?
What's going
hey,
on, man?
appreciate y'all having us on again.
Yeah,
Of course,
man.
man.
Yeah, it's
Of
nice
course.
to you guys in here. So now,
Yeah, whenever you want us, you know what I'm saying, just let us know. We make time. I'll make time for it. You know what I'm saying? So we was just shooting the shit about like character names and like we was all talking about behind the scenes stuff with our writing and stuff like that and our thought process and how everything was going. And one thing we was thinking about, we was talking about like how side characters, you know what I'm saying? You like, man, am I gonna waste my good character name on this or what? You know what I'm saying?
But
So
that'd be the worst, man. You come up with this dope name and then you use that dude for like two panels and you don't never see him again. Like,
boy, characters that I'm gonna kill off, I'm like, let me give him a bland ass name like James.
right,
Yeah.
Roger.
Right.
I'm getting
Something
all the
like to
Rogers
get
out of
rid
here.
of.
uh,
Get all the Rogers out of here.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah. So you guys recently, or y'all are about to start a Kickstarter for the comic Afterimage. You guys want to
Yes,
tell us a
yes.
little bit about Afterimage real quick?
Man, After Him is just this dope new teenage character that we came up with. Man, he's from North Carolina, but you know that's where I'm from, so I had to bring it back to the hometown.
All right.
And yeah, he has like his power set is really basically teleport. Well, we call it skipping in his story,
Mhm.
short distance teleportation. Really, really dope, really sarcastic character, fun. He has a lot of depth to him, and I think as we're going to get into it, as the story unfolds over the first issue, the first arc is 3 issues. And I think we're really going to dive into some real hot button issues, especially with the things that we've been dealing with the last couple of years with like the police brutality and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna try to tackle some of those subjects, but in a lighthearted, fun way.
Okay, okay. So that's something that that's really needed to be talked about and things like that because a lot of people kind of stray away from that, but you know what I'm saying, y'all tackling it head on, and
Yeah.
that's really appreciated because that's an issue that you know what I'm saying don't need to be tiptoed around. You know what I'm saying? That's something that needs to be
Mhm.
talked about, and the fact that y'all even doing that, man, more power to y'all on that.
I mean,
Um,
that was one of the big story points that the writer Robert Jeffrey the second wanted to come up with. When we were sitting down, we were brainstorming different ways to develop the story in which how we wanted to go. That was something he really wanted to address, and I was like, "Yo, go for it. As long as we do it tastefully, I'm cool." And I
mhm.
think a lot of people forget that a lot of comics always tackle like social political issues. Like, why are we gonna run? We're not gonna run from that. That's our reality. So we want to make sure that we do it justice.
Big facts, especially and then
Yeah.
y'all gonna be in
And
North Carolina, so I know they got that going on up there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I seen a few pointy hats in my day.
Yeah. What, what you about to say, Keith?
just the way that Robert wrote it was so good too. Because I know for me, as a writer, I think social issues always have a place in media, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, but sometimes the way that it's done can be a little rough or like, I'm not a fan of when they kind of just make it too obvious, they just punch you in the face with it kind of. I like for it to, really be a part of the story, like get your message across, but also make it a fluid part of the story. And Robert did an amazing job of doing that.
Big
Yeah.
facts. Yeah,
You
I was
never want to
looking.
get too preachy.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, I was looking over it, and it's like you know what I'm saying. I haven't completely finished. I got like to page 12 or 13 right now, but like even just looking over it, it's like you can tell it's there, and it's, you know what I'm saying. At the same time, it's not like you said, too preachy or it's all in your face and stuff like that. It's there and it's there to be talked about, but it's not going to be one of them things where it's shadowing the entire storyline, because the thing is really about this cool character who is,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, doing Afterimage and stuff like that. So
I'm really excited for the project, to be honest, man. This is the first character that I've come up with that I completely gave to someone else to write. So like I was sitting there, I'm like, oh God, I'm like on pins and needles every time he does something with it. I'm just like, well, I would have wrote it like this. Like, you know what I mean? But, you got to trust the process, and Robert's such an amazing writer. And I just want to, like I said, I want to shout him out again. Robert Jeffrey, he's just an amazing writer. Like, and I'm a huge fan of his stuff. I've got almost all of his indie comics that he's put out. And so it was a little easier to like back up and trust him to do it, but it was still tough.
Yeah, he got a couple accolades, so you was like I seen some of the stuff, but at the same time you was like nervous because it still is your baby, it's your character. So I feel you on that.
Right. And I don't know about anybody else, but for me, as a creative myself, when somebody brings me in to do something, I realize, they bringing me in to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to step on his toes too much, and I didn't want to over edit or over give him plot points. You know what I mean? I kind of wanted to tell him, hey, well, these are the characters I got. This is the kind of like what I'm thinking you could do with them. But as far as like the story itself, like, you can do whatever you want to do with it. But then, the Concept Moon universe, because it does connect to the other stories. It does connect to the Frontline Soldiers. It does connect to some stories that are coming out next year. There's a few Easter eggs in the first couple pages, by the way. I don't know if you noticed them when you were looking at the book.
Oh no! Now I gotta go back. You got all these tie-ins. You got the Concept Mooniverse.
There are some.
I like that Concept Mooniverse. I like that.
Concept Mooniverse.
We're gonna have to take that.
Oh yeah. So, Bo, did you want to ask anything? I know I'm talking a lot.
Oh hell, it's all good, man. Like yeah. So most of you guys, I started reading most of your books already. I like the Black Lotus Dragon. Kind of had like the same reaction to Abe. Like I was like, I need more to this, what's going on. Like, because it just had a suspense. Because one thing I like about comics that you don't get so much in like in most like regular like other comics is that the suspense sometimes doesn't really like catch on to like what the readers are trying to get. So when I read the Black Lotus, it was really like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? That kind of reaction. So yeah. Right. So whenever you guys have Black Lotus Moon 2 ready, don't be afraid to like hit me on the download. Send me like, hey man, bro, we're watching like making the Black Lotus 2, but yeah. With that being said, so one of the things that I want to ask you guys is like, so what's your favorite show based off comics? Like, is there a show that is based off comics that you guys enjoy watching, or is you just like the concept of it? What shows do you?
Like currently running or just all time?
All time.
Whew. Well, look, I got two. I'll answer that two ways then, I guess. My favorite is X-Men animated series. That's the one that introduced me to comics, period. You know what I mean? So I go back and I'll watch a couple episodes here and there today still. So that's definitely my favorite. But the one that I like the concept was the show Legion.
Okay.
Which I watched a couple episodes of it. I liked the show. I watched the first season, excuse me. And I like the way they broke down his powers. If you know Legion from the comics, like his powers and his personalities are like crazy. So I actually like the way they attacked it on the show. But yeah, my favorite all time definitely X-Men animated series. It's not even close.
And Legion got those X-Men ties because he's Professor X's son or whatever. Like
yeah. So since you said X-Men series, let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people have like different like mix about it. What do you think about Wolverine and the X-Men and animated show?
I would say story-wise, it's probably a better show than the X-Men animated series. I do think it's probably a little bit better, more cohesive, but it ain't better than the OG show to me, man. Like I like the cast of characters, the art style, like the attitude. 'Cause that was back when cartoons could have a little bit of edge to them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Before they really started, like I don't want to say dumbing down cartoons, but getting more,
They
getting more
softened down a little bit.
Yeah. And so, and then I ain't even gonna flex. Like being a young man, I was like, Rogue and Storm was like everything to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like in X-Men, my favorite character was Gambit, and
Yes.
like even just like reading the comics and finding out that they nerfed him with Mr. Sinister and all that other stuff because he really was like too OP, and they nerfed him. And I'm like, man, if they ever like decide to like go back and retcon that and don't nerf him, I'd love to see like how strong he really is, bro.
The sad part about that is that's still the best depiction of Gambit we've ever seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like when they had Gambit in the Wolverine Origins movie, I think.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad, but like you said, he wasn't as strong as he could have been.
Gambit for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know like he puts that energy in cars now, but before he could just like mentally like put that energy into whatever. And then just like he could put it into your body and then blow you up and shit like that. Yeah. But then like once he figured out like he couldn't really control it and stuff like that. So he went to Mr. Sinister instead of going to Professor X. Professor X would have honed that shit and trained it. He went to Mr. Sinister and they pocketed it. So now he can only do it like by touch and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, if he like mentally could just make stuff explode and stuff like that, that would have been crazy.
Like his power set, like you said, like they definitely nerfed him, but like his story too, like with him being like in like the Thieves Guild down in New Orleans and stuff like that, they really there was a whole bunch you could do with his story that they just missed an opportunity with in some of these later movies. But hopefully we'll get one. I'm just glad that Gambit movie with my man from with Channing Tatum that was supposed to come out. I'm glad that shit did not get made.
Never came out.
I was like, this is gonna be some bullshit.
I wouldn't be mad if they casted, one of us, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Because he's from Louisiana, he's from the Bayou and shit like that. So
you can easily make him Creole.
You could easily make him, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they want to do.
Hollywood, they did what they want to do. So.
Keith, what was your favorite?
So I know this one is very new, but I think I'm gonna go with Invincible.
Okay.
That show was good, man. that show was good.
Yeah,
man, that show was real good. Once I started, I couldn't put it down. I haven't read the comic. I still need to get to it, but I didn't know what to expect on that show, and I'm thinking kind of going in it's just going to be another typical comic show, and I got just completely blindsided with greatness. That show was my mind was blown. None.
That's not that first episode, and then I'm like, okay, cool. It's like a regular show. I'm like, and then after the credits, I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? Like blood flying everywhere, guts flying away, like fucking necks breaking. I'm like, holy shit, oh my god,
bro! If you read the comic, that shit would really caught you off guard on the first episode. Because like in the comic, that didn't happen till like issue number 15. Issue 15, 16. So like as soon as they started getting that phone call, I was like sitting in my seat and I was like, nah. I was like this early, I was like, I already knew it was coming, but it was just like it was still surprising. I was like, this early, dang.
And they get straight to it.
Yeah, so like they definitely they following the comic, but they are doing stuff out of order to like keep, what I'm saying,
make the show
interesting. So
But that show did exactly what it was supposed to do, though. Like
Yeah.
this comic sales shot up like 200-300% after the first couple of episodes because everybody was like, "Oh, I need to see like what was going on." So I'm like, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, because that like it's the same with like The Walking Dead or whatever. He kind of like switched stuff up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, to keep the watchers on the edge of their sleep. But he did too much in The Walking Dead.
Don't talk to me about Walking Dead. So, but that made me so mad. Like I knew it was gonna be some bullshit. I want to say it was second season when the girl, blonde head chick from the second season, she goes and dies after the prison break. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
But I was like,
Was it Beth? No, not Beth.
not bad. No.
The sniper.
No, like I can't remember, but she because in the comic, if you read the comic, her and Rick were supposed to end up together, not Rick and Michonne.
Yeah.
Lori.
No, Lori was his wife, like
Lori's wife. She
and then
died in the prison.
It's like Angela, right?
I think it was Angela. Yeah, Angela. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when she died, when she got killed, I was like, yeah, this is about to be some bullshit.
Yeah, he tried to make it too different. You know what I'm saying? But like you can even like figure out the characters like because Dale was the one that got his leg ate in the comics, but it's actually Bob in the TV show and all sorts of shit. Like they were switching people in and out and stuff like that. So
I was hot. Then Glenn used to piss me off. Glenn should be dead. He should have died like 8 times.
Yeah, he was doing that because everybody knew Glenn died in the comics. So he was doing teasers like that just to fuck with us and shit. Right.
Plus, everybody loved Glenn in the show. Like Glenn was one of the favorite characters in the show.
Yeah,
that shit when he fell off the trash can and was underneath the dumpster. Like I was like, he should have got bit, man. I was like,
it still shocks me to this day when he got his eye knocked out because what they did with the camera to make it seem like it was rolling. I was like, what kind of scene is this? And then come to find out, he done knocked this man's eye clean, smooth the fuck out, like right on out.
But Glenn was supposed to die like at Herschel Farm too when he went into that well.
Glenn was supposed to die like y'all said a lot of times.
He go into that well and there's a zombie in the well with him, and I'm like, bro, there's no way. There's no way.
I just want to say, looking back at if you only watched the show and you didn't read the comic, let's just look back and say Shane was right, man. Shane was the one that needed to stay around, and they got him out of here. But I'm like, you need a Shane on your team in the zombie apocalypse.
Like, see, then we discussed that, saying that Rick basically ended up turning into Shane.
They turned into Shane later on. Shane was just way early. He had already got rid of emotions and stuff early
Shane was
on.
ready for that action.
He got rid of them emotions and stuff early on. So, like later on, when they all like that, it's like, nigga, like Shane probably was just looking down, like, bro, what the fuck? Like, because Rick started shooting.
And y'all showing up to a place with developed houses and cutting off heads, and it's like, but you stabbed Shane for even implying that y'all should have made these moves.
Hey, but I guess that's character development, I guess, in a sense. I don't know what you got to call it.
It does really show you how quick, even in real life, like humans can like go to being barbaric quick. The minute, convenience is like wiped off the table, and the idea that they're like will no longer be civilized living, like people it just goes like straight off the table. Any type of like morals, a lot of people like lose them quick. Some people try to, hold on to them. That, as you saw, like in the seasons, some people try to hold on to them, but some people quick as hell be like, oh, nope.
It's on site.
Yeah.
Hey, let these cell towers start working right now. Everybody.
Yeah, think it's designed.
My phone went off on me, and I was like, wait a minute, I was like, I was about to start going to talk to the pigeons to get messages out because I was struggling.
So the real question is, how many of y'all Persian?
So a Persian.
If I got my asthma pumps, then I'm good.
Right.
Because on everything, if we supposed to do some shit as a crew, I got y'all. But if I fall and don't nobody attempt, I swear to God on my life, I'll lead them back to the hideout. On my life. I'm gonna be like,
man.
they did this at 12:01, and y'all said they had 24 hours. They definitely did this at 12:01. So I'm pretty sure it's definitely against the law what they did. Against the law.
I'll be real. I wouldn't purge, but like the same with the zombie apocalypse thing, though. Like I'm Shane off the bat. You know what I'm saying with mine. So like it'll be like, okay, I got my family with me. This is who I need to be protecting, and at this point, I can't trust nobody right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be that off the bat. But as far as like the purge, I'll probably just be locked down. Like I'll stay inside.
Yeah, I do the same
just be
thing.
money. Mine
So
would just
we'll
be
get
money.
some shit.
I don't think I necessarily need to kill nobody, but it would definitely be money.
Y'all
Because
lying.
I'm
See,
gonna be paying bills.
I'm making a list
24
all
hours.
year. Look, I'm like, that bank teller that just gave me attitude for no reason that day. Oh, she had it.
It's been too loud that you didn't have somebody. You only have $2.45, ma'am.
Why are you telling my business? Wait till the purge night.
I'm gonna see you. Don't worry. I'm gonna see you with my $2.45.
Right.
Everybody get it. And I'm gonna get the TV. It's like it's Black Friday.
That's the thing. Like I would want to go out there and get like money and shit, but it's like these niggas could kill me. And now like it's
that's
like
why I will
right.
lock down.
yeah, I might as well just lock down. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but they can come kill you in your house.
Yeah.
But
So,
but if
even
if I'm
you
holed
have-
up in my house with weapons, I got the advantage. Even if they come, if I board up the
they
doors,
just be
and
holed
I-
up
and
in
I
your
got
house too
weapons in
with
the house.
weapons.
Right. They just gonna come get you and have all your weapons. And he got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in here.
That'll change everybody's life though throughout the year though. You wouldn't even want to tell people where you live because
Right.
you like on this one
Right.
day people could just pull
But
up to
the
your
thing
house
is, like from the purge, you saw people was over here planning that shit out,
all year.
like waiting for the
Right,
day.
I could be prepared.
And-
Like I can be in the house prepared. If you go out and want to rob or whatever, you can't be fully prepared for that because you never know. If somebody want to hit the same spot as you, if somebody if they hit the same spot, are they willing to split it with me, or are we gonna have to fight over this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's too many
I'm
variables.
just gonna
But when you in the house locked up, it's you got a little bit of control.
And it
I'm
get
being wild
worse.
reckless the whole year. I'm giving it, and then I'm giving my enemy's address out. Like this is where I live. Business card.
Right?
Right.
Just start
Everybody I
shit
want
and
knocked
give
off.
a false address.
It was
Right.
crazy because it was getting, as the older that they got, it was getting worse because old dude he was like in the house locked down, and his daughter boyfriend was over that. She let him in through the window, and that nigga was like gonna kill the dude or whatever because he didn't approve of them dating. I was like, damn,
Right.
you can't do shit. Like, it's like
But
Right,
dads do that
both.
anyway. So he was just gonna get away with it.
yeah,
Right.
because it was on the right day.
Right. Don't be that crazy.
Yeah,
Man, I want to scare the hell out of my daughter's boyfriend. I don't want to kill him.
That's what it is. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, a TV show that since y'all brought up Invincible, did y'all watch The Boys? Y'all fuck with The Boys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never seen. I never read the comics, but I watched the show.
The comics is a little extra, so it's a little edgy and stuff like that. That's Garth Ennis in general. But I like the concept of The Boys. You know what I'm saying? Just them kind of doing their own thing as far as like superheroes, feeling like they untouchable,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But when I read the backstory for Mother's Milk, like in the like I looked it up, like in the comics, and I was like, yeah, I ain't reading this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you think that was bad, you don't even want to read. Like The Boys
like,
comics is like extra, bro.
Right.
Like for no reason. That and because he wrote The Boys and he wrote Preacher.
Oh, he the same writer that wrote Preacher.
Yeah.
I like
Bro, Preacher is
Okay,
kind of
so
like
that can make sense why it turned out that way.
Are you
Did you watch
seen
the show?
Preacher, Cam?
I've seen Preacher,
You seen it?
the
Okay.
show.
Yeah,
and
like
had a dude with a whole, anus for his
for his face. They
mouth.
call it
So,
ass face or whatever because he.
yeah, but now that you say that it's the same writer, it's like, okay, we can see
Yeah.
where these characters came from.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, but Bo,
Hmm?
did you say what show?
My show.
Yeah.
Now for me, let's see. I would say it would have to be the Avengers. For me.
Okay.
Now I like the old Avengers. Now the most recent one I did like that came out, and the last one, I think was called Avengers Assemble, and then Avengers Earth Mightiest Hero. Those are the last two Avengers.
Oh, cartoon ones.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are
yeah,
dope.
those are dope. Yeah. But yeah, I like the Avengers because you have all the groups of superheroes. You got Iron Man, Thor, Spider Man, all grouped in there. It's still like having to watch them single. I mean, sure, I wish they had an Iron Man single, at least a good Iron Man single, anime show. Because back then the Iron Man shows was lit. Like, Tony
Yeah.
Stark be like going
Did
all
you
out
see
to his
the Iron Man anime? They did like Iron Man,
Yeah.
X-Men.
They did Iron Man anime and then they did the X-Men anime. I liked,
Yeah.
so I like I actually like the X-Men anime. The Iron Man anime, I'm still kind of iffy about it because
Yeah.
I mean, it's Japan. It's the own take of Iron Man. Because I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. So, but yeah, besides that, I like the X-Men anime because it did kind of like they did roll with the actual like story with it, but just put their own custom, like actual like lore of the X-Men, just put their own concept on it. So
Y'all
I
talking
actually
about
like,
the X-Men anime that's on Netflix?
yeah, that one.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't like them. I didn't like those or the Wolverine anime. I thought those was.
I like the story of the Wolverine one, but I didn't like the X-Men one. It was to me, it wasn't that good. The Iron Man, I was the opposite. I think I like the Iron Man one better than I like the X-Men one. But the anime, like it was weird seeing them in anime.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. Yeah, it was so weird. Like I was like, I think I was like, I had to adjust my eyes to this, man. It kind of looks so weird. Like
most of the superheroes turned into anime didn't fare well to me because that Batman Ninja joint was bad too.
Was terrible.
Terrible.
Like, who thought of that shit like that?
And I was mad because I was so excited. Like when I first seen the preview, I was so excited.
The trailer looked crazy, and then you watched it, and it was the only thing that had me more disappointed than that was this Yosuke.
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yasuke
So Yasuke, the only thing that told me that was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be about. I thought it was gonna be about samurais, and then next thing I saw like mechs and like weird voodoo shit. I'm like, oh
right.
Shit.
I'm like, what is Mex doing here? What is this? Is that a werebear? Like,
no, it was crazy because like they was in a time period where like power and everything wasn't working. Like none of the power was working, but a whole mech is walking around. I'm like, bro,
and nobody's saying nothing.
Everybody's saying nothing.
How is the power not on, but the mech is working? Where'd you charge this up at? Where you plug him in at?
Right.
I'm just like, my man. What's my man name? LaShawn Thomas, man. I'm done. I'm done with his anime, man. Like,
I think there was a lot we were expecting from that. I think we put on a lot. I mean, not saying that excused what it ended up being, but I think the letdown was even worse because we had such high expectations, and
but
and
you
with
know,
that,
I think even if we went into it with no expectations, the way that it was done was so bad.
No. I'm saying that. Yeah, I mean, even if we didn't have expectations, it definitely turned into something.
But even like,
but the soundtrack. The soundtrack.
That's about it. That's about it.
Right?
But that's
that soundtrack. No, I mean that's
all it gave us.
Hey,
Like,
Flying
And it
Lotus
was
is
another attempt at representation. Although I don't know, like I don't know, it was another chance at representation, but I just kind of wish it was,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? And don't take this the hard way, because I know you guys tend to you are writers and you're working on your work, but I kind of felt like it gave me the feeling like, oh, I used to do this in my personal time, and you kind of got a little bit of play, and then you be like, all right, I'm ready for the big leagues. And then you put that past your let's say your grandma, because you know your grandma, she like, way to go, baby, you doing so good. She, she reading. And but then you sat up there and you showed it to everybody else, and then you sit up there thinking, my grandma lied to me.
Right.
My grandma lied to me. And that's kind of what it felt like. It was like, okay, because we know his previous work, and we're like, okay, we feeling this, and
I
we're
like the
like
Boondocks.
hyped up to see it and stuff like this.
Boondocks,
So
yeah.
basically we were the grandmothers, and
But
then
with
it
the
got shown
Boondocks,
to everybody else.
I
So,
think
and I don't want y'all to take that offense, because your work is good and it's your art, but hopefully, when y'all get past us grandmas, it ain't just like, but that's grandma's baby right there.
Well, I can put this out here confidently. Concept Moon will never put out anything as bad as Yosuke.
I'm about to say I've read it.
But all right, just don't let grandma sit here and hype you up. Talking about show me your little dance.
He gave us some red flags and we didn't take them because LaShawn Thomas was working with Boondocks, and then when Aaron Magruder left for that final season, that final season was LaShawn Thomas only, and that last season of the Boondocks was awful.
Yeah.
And we didn't see the red flags, you know what I'm saying? Because we was like, oh, he worked on the Boondocks as a whole, so we just taking it as a whole. And
but the thing too,
he wasn't the only one there.
Yeah, when Aaron Magruder left for the final season, that was LaShawn.
Now, see, the final season of Boondocks had a couple moments that made you be like, "All right, it's still, still Boondocks." But it just wasn't that good.
But yeah,
right.
And I think
Cannon Busters was terrible too.
Oh, after Cannon Busters, I had zero expectations for Yosuke. I had zero. I was like, I'm just gonna watch this because everyone's talking about Yosuke. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it. I'm like, that was the reason I watched it. And then as soon as I saw the match and everything, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna watch it the whole time and see what everyone's comment
I
is.
prefer, and y'all can take this how y'all will. I prefer Cannon Busters over Yosuke.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I prefer, because it took a little bit of time, and I ended up just watching it in Japanese, and I don't know if that's just kind of what I'm used to, but it seemed like the mouth work and everything kind of fit better. But I will say that theme song definitely hit.
Yes.
That theme song was definitely it for me.
Right. One thing I think people don't ever say is that Lakeith Stanfield's voice acting was terrible for Yosuke. Like,
a lot of people didn't feel that way. A lot of people was like patting.
Yeah, I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was
bad.
great.
Yeah.
I was like, this don't even look like, I don't know. You ever like meet somebody and then like they sound one way on the phone and then when you meet them in person, that's what it was like. I was like, this dude don't sound like
don't get me started, because I'll be in some people's text messages about, why do they sound like that? and you're right, because Lakeith has a certain way of speaking. He's a good actor, but no matter what his role, he's still, if you start paying attention now, he speaks in the same tone with slight inflections here and there, but it's always the same. And then to kind of hear that from an animated character, it's like it's not giving what it's supposed to give.
What makes Lakeith's acting so great is his nonverbals. Like, you know what I mean? Really, if you like his ability to make you feel something just by looking a certain kind of way or lean in a certain kind of way or whatever. But just his voice alone, no.
That wouldn't have hit. It wouldn't have hit the way it would. So for people who are big fans of Lakeith, you can continue to be fans, but his voice acting didn't do it. It didn't do it.
Ooh, on a random note about bad voice acting, I don't know if y'all watched Marvel What If, the Killmonger series.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
watched
why, but that Michael B. Jordan didn't sound right as voice doing
Michael,
the voiceover
I
either.
don't understand why people like Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, I ain't going that far. I actually like that.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
That's my guy. Yeah, but that voice acting, I don't know. Like,
Y'all got some other time, but
it wasn't that good to me.
Yeah,
but
I didn't.
I
I
don't
didn't
think
like
people realize there's a huge difference between acting and voice acting.
Mhm.
Like I feel like, and I feel like some of these big actors walk into voice acting roles and kind of think that they can like skate by on it because they're so used to acting and like they're good actors. But like you being a good actor does not mean you'll be a good voice actor because it's kind of a whole different animal.
Hey Keith, did you see the cast for Mario?
We ain't gonna talk about the cast of Mario. We ain't gonna talk about the cast of Mario.
Man,
Chris Pratt as Mario. How's that gonna work, bro?
That whole cast to me was kind of like, yeah, big names, but I don't know how that cast is gonna work. Honestly,
The only cast
how that cast is gonna work.
The only cast that was good is Seth Rogen being Donkey Kong. I can live with that.
I don't even think that works.
Hey, it'll work. It'll work.
Yeah, following what Keith said, like it is a big difference because just because, like you said, just because you're a good actor doesn't mean you'll be a good voice actor because you have to take into account, you have to reflect emotions on to someone else. Because when you're acting in front of a film, people can see you. People can see you. But you're speaking through someone else. So you have to be able to completely align with the character you're representing because it's like we can't see you when you're like trying to do a joke or something like that, and it's like I can't quite hear it because what I'm hearing doesn't match what I'm seeing.
Right. Which I don't think Chris Pratt's a bad voice actor though. He did
he was good in the Lego movie.
The Lego movie,
but he wasn't great in Onward, I don't think.
Right, which I just don't think he fits Mario. Like, unless they not gonna have Mario have an Italian accent.
You know what's so crazy about that? The dude that voice acts Mario, Chris Martinson, is going to be in the Mario movie. So
how is he not Mario?
So what role is he going to play? So what role is he going to play? And then if let's say that you decide to let him do the inflections of Mario for like the woohoo and stuff like that, what was the point of hiring Chris Pratt? You might as well just let that dude take the whole thing. And
then do the whole thing. Have we heard him besides the quotes? It may be that he doesn't have a full range to speak like him in like longer sentences because we're used to
that's true too. Because Mario's not a dialogue heavy or character.
In Mario Party, in Mario Party he is. That the voice actor actually, I shared one a tweet on Twitter where he was like talking about chasing people with pizza and all sorts of crazy shit. He's real good as Mario. The issue is also I can see Jack Black playing Donkey Kong, but I don't.
That's what I thought too. As Bowser,
and Keegan Michael Key, I could see him
as
playing.
Toad.
I would see him as Luigi. He's more of a Luigi.
He would have been a much better Luigi than Charlie Day. I'm just like, it just makes me feel like they about to try to do like a gritty Mario Brothers, and I'm just like, like they don't make no sense.
Gritty Mario Brothers do Robert De Niro and Al Pacino as Mario and Luigi,
right?
And make it gritty.
If he was
Robert De Niro as Mario,
that would be classic.
What'd you say, Kel?
I said if he wasn't deceased, I would say I could see Michael Clarke Duncan being like Browser or either Donkey Kong.
All right, now you can't do the
But-
monkey and the black.
You because I imagine if you're gonna have him speaking, I would think them kind of having like deep
that
voice,
basic,
but with a
tone.
little bit of humor in it.
yeah.
But then Browser, we may get Browser, and it turned out this man actually has a low key soft voice, and it's like, bro.
Yeah, Jack Black voice is like. I mean, you've heard Kung Fu Panda, so
I mean, yeah, Jack Black got decent range though. Like, I mean, when it comes to like how he uses his voice, so he's probably the best casting choice out of all of them. I mean,
best
he
actor
really
out of everybody,
right? You know what I mean? But
And he's a good voice actor.
Yeah.
Him.
So I just, oh my bad. Go ahead.
And I mean, I think Seth Rogen is a great voice actor too. I just don't know that he fits Donkey Kong.
Did you watch Sausage Fest?
Yes, I'm about to say Sausage Party.
Yeah,
Sausage.
He was great. He was great, man.
And he was good at Invincible too. He's good at
Yeah.
the Alien and Invincible.
Yeah, like he does really good work, man. I'm surprised they didn't have Seth Green in it. Like Seth Green
Seth Green is Bowser. Because Seth Green as Bowser would have worked because him sounding like him doing Chris on Family Guy's got that deep kind of like voice that he can do it, play around with.
Yeah, and this cast seems like they're gonna go like full on comedy for the movie, but I still don't know that these actors fit these characters that they have in it.
I ain't even gonna flex. I'm not gonna watch the movie. Like I didn't even know the movie was so like to be honest, it's like I'm not gonna watch that movie. My sons don't even like it.
I'll watch it. We played Mario Party a lot at this house, so I'm pretty sure we'll eventually watch it. But I don't know how.
We play Brawlhalla around my way.
We do that too. Brawlhalla's a lot easier.
Yeah, Brawlhalla's a lot easier.
But with them making the movie, because I remember the original, and it's neither here nor there for me. Like, do y'all really feel? And I know how popular Mario has continued to be throughout the years. But do you think Mario is a video game that deserves a movie? Like, what about Mario do you think you would want to see for an hour and a half? You know?
But it's Mario,
unless they letting Kane Carter write it, I don't want to see none of it.
I mean,
maybe a cartoon. I could see it maybe being like a cartoon.
It is a cartoon.
Like,
it is a cartoon.
Like,
Illumination. Like, but
yeah, but I don't think I could.
We just got an Angry Birds movie part 2.
That's true.
We can get a Mario movie.
That's true.
That is true.
Let Pixar do it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, Pixar. Yeah, I'll watch it because I like Angry Bird 1 and 2. So
Illumination.
Yeah, they say they're gonna monopolize any way they can. Yeah, because you saw how long Let It Go. What's Let It Go? Not Let It Go,
Frozen.
But Frozen. Y'all saw for years. Frozen was like running the game, so I guess it does make sense if they're gonna try to do Mario again.
I got PTSD watching Frozen, man. My daughter loves Frozen.
If I had to hear another Let It Go song, I was gonna beat up someone.
I hated it, but I guess if Frozen can go that long, I guess we can go ahead and get a album of Mario.
Love is.
You know what movie they should make?
I have to do the dance with my daughter.
Oh yeah. My daughter she wanted to do the dance. She got all the dolls, and I'm just like, yo, like you don't want to watch Moana? Like you don't want to watch? Like nope. But I want to get. Hey, we doing all these video game movies. Let me get a Earthworm Jim movie. I think that'd be a way better movie.
Hey, so Fallout is supposed to get an Amazon Prime TV show. And I'm actually excited.
That could be dope.
Okay, Amazon, yes, I can actually see it at Fallout for Amazon. So I don't know who if you guys know this, but have you guys seen the cast for Borderlands, the game, or have you heard about it?
Kevin Hart.
Oh yeah, I'm like, dude, Kevin Hart's
Borderlands.
Yeah, Borderlands. Yes, they're making a Borderlands game. You know, like they're making in Borderlands.
Let me look up the cast of that.
Yeah, it's so the cast doesn't make sense at all, and especially the character that Kevin Hart played, it makes no sense. Like zero sense.
Because that dude was, but I think Kevin Hart
Yeah.
trying to transition from comedy, trying to get away from comedy a
To-
little bit.
To
Well,
more
Borderland
serious
is
stuff, I think
comedy.
so
That
too.
last
Borderland
stand-up
is comedy.
trash.
You said
No,
what?
I think Big Nasty Florian, he trying to continue to get his big acting chops. And they got Jack Black, they got Jamie Lee Curtis,
Oh, for
Bobby
Borderland?
Lee, Kevin Hart, Ariana Greenblatt, Blatt, or however you say that. I know who that is, but
She plays Tiny Tina. I don't know why.
Oh,
Okay,
they got Kate Blanchett in this? Oh, snap.
But
Look, man, all this video game stuff. I'm hoping. I hope this Mario movie helps me to push my Smash Bros. Cinematic universe agenda.
well, see, no,
Because
all
we
the
get
other ones have
Mario,
that.
we already got Pikachu, we got Sonic,
I wonder
What we need- we
what they're
need
gonna make it look
Zelda,
like.
and Samus. All that's left.
Hey,
Kirby.
there was a rumor about a what's it called, a Samus movie, Metroid Prime movie, but I don't know who they was trying to do as the main character.
I bet they put Brie Larson because she got blonde hair and plays Miss Marvel.
Nah, it's gonna be old girl Charlize Theron. I bet money.
Oh shit, that
I can see that.
But see that, and with the Super Smash Brothers joint, that would mean that this movie, the Mario movie that's coming out, they'd have to like kind of make it like how like Detective Pikachu was kind of like furry a little bit, and Sonic was kind of furry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know it's being made by Illumination, and Illumination is the people that made like Despicable Me and stuff
Despicable
like
Me,
that.
yeah.
So that means it's probably gonna be animated a little more. But at the same time,
So is it gonna take place in the real world a little bit?
I have no idea.
I don't think so. I don't think
No
so.
idea.
If it's a Mario, it shouldn't take place in the real world.
If they do the Smash Brothers, I mean, if you trying to do the Super Smash Brother universe, then it would have to take place in the real world. So they'd have to make them like real plumbers.
I just want to see Knuckles in the next Sonic movie.
Yeah,
I like how the
Like-
fans made people get Sonic together. When they
Man, I think
first
that
tried
shit
to come
was
out
a
with the
publicity
movie, they
stunt.
said, "Wait a minute now."
Sonic looked like a crackhead that lived in a garbage.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think that shit was a publicity stunt. I think they said we're gonna put this terrible image out and make people blow this shit up because bad press is just as good as good press. And then as soon as we switch it, everybody gonna love it, so they're gonna have to go see it and they're gonna feel guilty because we actually changed it. That's what I think happened.
Maybe so, because
They knew that was terrible.
When they released that meth head, they thought they was gonna have us watch for almost 2 hours. No, sir.
But
Sir.
I think too that they did it and then they got in and were kind of like unsure and we're like, okay,
Right.
let's put this out and see what people say. And
They
then
knew that
the
thing didn't look
reaction
like
that
Sonic.
they got, yeah,
That didn't
It was
look like Sonic at
yeah,
all.
our gut feeling was right. We need to redo this because that movie
Nah.
was enjoyable, honestly.
Yeah, no, that movie was
I
actually
enjoyed
pretty
that
good.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I think
So,
that's what I think. I think like the person who they hired to draw Sonic did a bad job at Sonic, and then the actor or whoever was like, "This is Sonic." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm put all my hard work into it." I'm like, "Okay, let's put it on the screen and see what everyone thinks." Oh well, I guess everyone didn't think your drawing was that great, huh? We do that shit right now, okay?
Nah, that was the president's son that drew that. That's how that got out there. The studio president's son did it.
right? Talking about you don't let grandma lead you on the wrong path.
Oh,
Talking about grandma's baby.
that was so bad.
Who is some of are one of your like favorite side characters?
Like from
I know
just a
I
comic
made y'all
book
have to
or
think.
story.
across fiction.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna say
Wait a
Psylocke
minute.
from the comic books.
Who?
From the X-Men, Psylocke from the X-Men comic books, X-Men, X-Force.
Okay.
Man, Psylocke is such a dope character with the whole body swap thing that happened, and then like her brother being Captain Britain, and then her power set. She's one of the strongest like psionic characters in the stories. And then she kind of has like that ninja samurai kind of backstory. She's definitely my favorite female hero that's not Storm, obviously, for obvious reasons. But if I had to pick a side character that didn't have their own title, definitely Psylocke for me.
So
I wish they would get X-Men together. Go ahead.
When you say side character, do you mean like somebody who's just number 2 to a main character, or someone even smaller than that?
I mean, like, if you've ever like watched a movie or a show, we'll say supporting. We'll say supporting character.
Anybody that's not the MC.
Yeah. So like a supporting character in like whether that be a comic, a book read, or a TV show, movie, and it's just like I wish I knew more, or I think this person is interesting enough where they should have been like spotlighted more. Like who do you feel is like one of your favorite side or supporting people? Like
so if I say Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho, is he too big of a character, or does that work?
I mean,
I think that's a dope one.
Yeah, I think
I mean, before I realized,
is he a side character though? Was he just he's one of the main?
That's what I mean. Like
he's in the top, but also you still don't just know everything about him.
Right.
He's interesting enough, and he seems like a nice guy, but partially. Like he used to be
they was coming
after
him in the beginning. Yeah. He was a fugitive in the beginning. He used to be a whole ass villain, but he had a whole life
they don't
go
in depth. Yeah, so I think I would say he counts because he's got a whole other side to him, and we don't just know absolutely everything about him, but he's interesting enough. It's like, because he was a villain. And then you have him today, and he's like rose whipping niggas in a capsule and going back to go have lattes at 2.
Right. And that's my guy. That is my guy.
That's
if you're sticking to anime though, like, I mean, I would probably say somebody from like My Hero, like one of the green. What's the green haired girl from Class 1D.
Oh, from Class B.
Divines with Divine.
Yeah.
Like how she not in Class A is beyond me. Like I need her backstory.
all the Class B class needs to be in Class A. Like I saw watch that Class A versus Class B. I'm like, dude, how you in Class B on Class A? Like, come on, man.
Right. Like there's like 4 of them. There's legit 4 or 5 of them that I'm like, yo, y'all should be in Class A. Like y'all be the top of Class A if it wasn't for the big 3 for real.
As far as like
how Invisible Girl in Class A over y'all? Because
how is Invisible Girl? How is my man great whatever
great man?
How is he even in the hero course at all? Like
I think that was just some comedic relief because I was like, well, you definitely gonna have to do some developing.
Bro, he had his one moment in season 1. Nate did shit since.
Yeah.
And just been nosebleeds after that. Just been straight nosebleeds after that.
I will say though, in the war arc, he does have a nice moment. If you read the manga, okay. he has a nice moment in the war arc.
It wasn't that nice.
I need to read it.
But he has a moment that no other character could have had. Like the moment is a moment where that only he really could have it because of his power.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I mean, yeah, it was a nice moment. It was all right.
Yeah.
It don't justify him being in 1A.
It don't.
I can't even do it.
Being in 1A. I was.
Give this man his props and his respect. Steve Bo. Like who y'all?
So I would say as my favorite side character, like at first my favorite side character before was someone I can't remember his name, but that's how my new side character is. Like I like his. So if I say my favorite side character would it be from a movie, it'd be a Deadpool movie, Colossus, because Cause
okay,
yeah, because Colossus be trying to like, it's like Colossus be acting noble and trying to like recruit Deadpool for I don't know for what reasons. Like Deadpool be killing people and then he still be trying to like, I forgive you, Deadpool, but if you join X-Men, you can make a lot of difference, man. You can make a lot of difference in the world. Save people alive, and then Deadpool just bow like. Colossus is just like, man, just give up on this dude. Man.
I feel like the way they did him in the Deadpool movies did way more justice than his appearances in the first X-Men trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
It did.
Definitely, because that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, I wish they would get X-Men together. Like,
well, now it's not with Fox no more, so it should.
Yeah, it should be better now.
Hopefully, because it's like they would literally come out with 3 movies and be like, this ain't it, and then start over like they never did the other shit.
I ain't never seen a movie theater reboot itself in the middle of it.
Right.
You know what?
Exactly.
Right. I'm
And
like,
it's like I need y'all to pick. It's because they did the same thing with Hulk. Like they couldn't get it right with Hulk to save their lives. So between Hulk and X-Men, it's like y'all got too much material for y'all to not come together
That's
and
Fox.
figure out what you want to do.
That Incredible Hulk storyline hurt my heart.
That's Fox for you though. Like,
Sometimes I want like sometimes with certain movies or TV shows that get made. Sometimes I don't want them. I want somebody to kind of be in the middle, because when they're too much of a fan, I feel like they can get overwhelmed and they're like, I want to do this story, I want to do that story, and I want to do this story, and it all starts to like mesh together, and it's like, well, so why was he stuck in the pole? Talking about the whole movie over, and it's like, so they not gonna tell us why he was stuck in the pole. We just go say he was stuck in the pole, and that's it.
I like the super fans because Kevin Feige is the super fan of Marvel, and he doing a good job.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah,
I'm just mad that he didn't do World War Hulk. After when they shot Hulk in the space, he rode off in that Quinjet, I was like, oh yeah, they set up World War Hulk and Planet Hulk. I just knew it was happening, and then that shit did not happen, and I was just like, man, could you imagine how crazy that would have been to get World War Hulk as like the big bad?
I think somebody like right in the middle. Not that they just gonna be like overly obsessed, where you end up with a like freaking 4-hour movie because they done tried to push everything in, but make it blend well. Like if you can't like complete the story, at least do it in a way where the conclusion is good and you want me to like bring me back. Because some of these people, like, and especially with X-Men, like, it's like y'all want to do so much. Y'all, because there's so many different mutants that you could bring to the forefront and kind of exhibit them. And then it's like, here you are, you getting Dark Phoenix. That was...
Let's not get started on Dark Phoenix. In the last one,
like they wanted to, they just wanted to OP all the characters, like all the characters. They wanted them to be OP, and it's like this. Not saying that they not Omega level mutants, but it's like you trying to flex too many of them at the same time and not enough time. Like,
X-Men messed up. The movies messed up 2 places, in my opinion. One, they never gave Rogue her power up in the first trilogy.
Yeah.
And 2, they tried to make Mystique like a hero. Like, Mystique
I'm like, when? Yeah,
so,
Mystique.
I know with
like,
the first one,
always been with the shits, and y'all be like, you want me to teach these?
With the first one, I know Rogue, like, she touches Captain Marvel and holds on to her so long that she ends up permanently getting like power. But I know they under Fox, and I don't know if they had the rights to Captain Marvel to
Well, no, at the time they didn't. But my whole thing is they could have easily done that with a different mutant. Like they could have just got another mutant that has superpowers and super strength. They got 1 million of them. Hell, make up a mutant. You know what I mean? And let them touch them, take the powers, and then develop. Like, and they didn't do it. And they made Rogue the Jubilee. Like they gave her Jubilee's relationship with Wolverine instead of having Jubilee in it. And it was just like, man, why y'all do this to my girl, bro? That's like, so it's just like that's where I feel like they really messed up those first movies. And then I don't think they anticipated Hugh Jackman blowing up like he did. But I'm like, he's Wolverine. He's like Wolverine is literally like the second or third most popular character in Marvel. If you put him in a movie, of course he's gonna blow up. Like, I don't think that, right?
And I don't like how they just dropped a Nightcrawler in there like he was some random ass hobo in a church.
Right.
Like, so y'all not gonna talk about his parents? His appearances, y'all just bloop, come on and save the world with us. That's it.
Right.
That's
and
it.
then they erased his whole friendship with Wolverine. Like they didn't even put no development into that. Like they missed the mark on so many levels.
Yeah. They focused too much on Jean and Wolverine and Charles and
Magneto
and Mystique, and then just kind of really made everybody else like they was whole ass side characters, and they were to an extent, but once again, these are Omega level mutants, and y'all, and they really disrespected Storm. Disrespected Storm.
They disrespected Storm by casting Halle Berry. That was the first mistake. Angela Bassett was young back then.
Up across continents, literally. She literally snatching folks up across continents, and y'all just got her with a badass fucking wig floating in some fucking trees with some mist. Y'all can go to hell.
Yeah, but I think X-Men is hard to make a movie for, just because there's so many good characters, and with a movie like you only got so much time, you only can focus on so many characters. I think Disney, even though Disney has them now, I think Disney's still going to struggle somewhat, just because. X-Men's tough.
I mean, if they do X-Men the same way they did Avengers, they'll be all right. Introduce them one at a time, then bring them together. Because, and that's the thing, they couldn't have done that then. You know what I mean? Because obviously that wasn't the formula then. But it's like you can't, like you said, all of these characters have their own stuff that they do outside of the X-Men team. They really only come together for big missions for the most part. So it's like, let them be introduced individually throughout the Disney Plus shows, cameos in movies, and then bring them together, especially with the Marvel, with the MCU stuff going more like cosmic. You can have the Avengers in space, have X-Men on Earth, like, you know what I'm saying? And that could kind of be the way they do it, but I'm sure they won't do that either.
I was totally expecting them to finally tie in Wolverine to the Avengers. Yeah. I was waiting for that, but that never came. Yeah. Do you guys think that they could do better as doing X-Men as a live action TV show?
Yes and no. So I don't know what X-Men TV show that came out. Basically, they had one of the characters was Magneto's other's daughter with the green hair, Polaris. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the X-Men show was called.
Yeah. Is it the Gift? No, it's not the Gift.
The Gifted. Yeah. So the Gifted had a very good first season, because I watched the whole thing. It was pretty cool. It all went down after the second season. So the only thing is that I think they can keep up with like a first season, but they can't execute a second season for the most part in the X-Men show when it comes to X-Men, because the second season was just like all over the place to me.
I mean, the good thing about the X-Men characters though is that they touch so much of the Marvel universe. You ain't got to do just a X-Men movie. Like you can have Wolverine with Falcon and Winter Soldier. You could have easily been in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah. You could have Storm obviously in Black Panther. You could have Cyclops or his brother Vulcan in Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I mean? Like there's so many ways to just
integrate
just
them.
sprinkle. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like so it can definitely be done. They just got to take the time to do it. I don't think we'll get a big X-Men movie anytime. I don't think we'll get one for another 5-10 years.
It's not scheduled on the slate because I think the first thing that they got to do is they're going to do Fantastic Four,
which they've been trying to get that
and
right.
that's another one they struggling with. That's another one they
2026. But that's all the stuff that they've been struggling with. Now Marvel got the rights to it. So Fox just suck. You know what I'm saying? Every time they just suck. So like all of this stuff is finally getting integrated into the Marvel universe. But they just
need to do. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say they setting up for Fantastic Four now, but they doing it slowly because the fact that Kang the Conqueror is in the Marvel universe automatically lets you know that the Fantastic Four is there because he Kang the Conqueror is a Reed Richards, which is the descendant of Franklin Richards, which is the Mr. Fantastic. So he's definitely there, but they was like they're not even gonna touch that shit till like 2026 or something like that.
The thing they got to get right with the Fantastic Four
is Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom. They cannot have him. He can't have him out here looking like no emo ho out here, man. Like he got to be right. Like and if they do that right, then he's a big multi movie threat potentially. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they get Dr. Doom right, Fantastic Four will be straight.
Yeah, they don't need to do.
He'll probably be one of the big bads. Like we had Thanos, and then who are they? I feel like they're gearing up right now. Well, Kang, and then probably Doom after that or Galactus.
They got Galactus coming. I think Galactus is definitely coming.
I think Galactus is gonna get in Eternals, and I think because Eternals they too overpowered. You can't have them fight somebody regular. So I think they're gonna fight.
Well, they're gonna be fighting the Celestials, so you could probably get a Galactus maybe cameo in Eternals. But I don't think he'll be in it proper. I think we'll get Namor. I definitely think we'll get Namor in Eternals.
I think we're gonna get Namor as an introduction, and then we'll get like a in Wakanda Forever. It'll be like he attacked Wakanda without T'Challa being there in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And they had to overcome Namor. And then for the third movie, it's gonna be whoever they recast as the Black Panther. Whether they do Shuri or recast them. And then
I think it's already confirmed that Shuri is gonna be Black Panther, so
I think they're going to do Shuri for the next movie. I mean, but think about the Shuri run. People always say that too. That she was the Black Panther. She was only Black Panther for like 12 issues.
Yeah, I was going to say for a little while.
So it's like because Boss never wanted Shuri to be Black Panther. He didn't accept her. The God never accepted her. So I think it would work for this next movie, especially if they try to make the movie in the 5-year gap where T'Challa's gone. That would make the most sense. And then, like you said, recast him for the third movie, and I think that'd be a smooth way to do it. But, hashtag.
And with the multiverse, they can do anything since they're introducing the multiverse.
I just want to say this now. I want my man that what's his name, Trevante Rhodes.
Trevante Rhodes.
I want him to be T'Challa.
The dude, I think he was in one of the Purges, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was in one of the Purges. I think he could really pull that off, man. As long as he can get the accent down, I think he'd be perfect.
That'd be dope. And because like Namor attacks Wakanda while Black Panther is away, and Black Panther, T'Challa is pissed. You know what I'm saying? He come back. So I think that would be the perfect movie. You have T'Challa is away, and Namor attacks Wakanda while T'Challa is away. I think that would be perfect.
And then he comes back at the end of the movie and it's
I know damn well. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he just go off. And that's a good way to introduce Namor. That's a good way to make this whole situation pop off. I think that'll be dope.
They need to Marvel, they hire us. We got them playing.
Yeah, so what I think would be a good idea to bring like a Black Panther, since they already change the whole flow of the multiverse, they can just bring a new Black Panther and be like, hey, we'll change the whole multiverse and this new Black Panther T'Challa. Like they could really get away with that, and we will be fine with that because the whole timeline and multiverse is all changed. Like it's a different Black Panther for a different multiverse.
Especially if they do like Battle World at the end of this whole like multiverse of madness stuff. If they do like Doom or do Doom, was it in Secret Wars where they did, or no, not Secret Wars, Original Sin, was it, where they did the Doom verse? If they go that route, there's a whole lot of ways you can just pull.
That Doom versus Magneto fight would be crazy.
Woo, let me tell you, I really hope Michael Fassbender come back as Magneto. I don't want them to go really old with Magneto and Charles again. I like Michael Fassbender and
they really hit the nail on the head when they cast them. Like that was a good cast. And speaking of casting, this kind of leads into my next question. So is partially for Keith and BD, but then I have another question that ties in that's for everybody. So with your comics and or graphic novels, I know they, it depends on what you want to refer to, whether you want to compare it to a comic or a graphic novel. Who would you say would be your best character, but they would get cast, say it gets made into a TV show or a movie, who would be the worst person to play your best character? And for the second portion, because this the second half of the question, this leads into the second half of the question. Who have y'all seen that has you've either read the book, the comic, graphic novel, or whatever have you, and it gets made into a movie, TV show, or live action, and you've just said they casted the worst fucking person under the sun? Like it's a good character, but they done cast it the worst person. Like when we were talking earlier with Borderlands with Kevin Hart. So who do you believe? And I know you don't want to just your best character, but who is your best character and it gets made into a movie or TV show, would you say that they could really fuck up the character by having this person be played? Who? Go ahead. Go ahead. Who would be your best character and the worst person to play him?
Okay, hold on. I think I got it. So if I had to pick a character, the best character, I would say Afterimage, because he got the team crossover appeal. But then if they casted Jaden Smith.
And Jada be the director too.
Boy, Lord, it'd be like what was that little anime he made? It was terrible.
Oh my God, Neo Yokio. Oh my God, it was so bad.
I don't know why the whole thing didn't exist until you mentioned it.
Yeah, you had to erase it out your memory banks. And then was the second part of that question, who was another character that we thought was a good character that got casted poorly?
Yeah.
It was. I got a two-part. I think it was. Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. I think it was Jack Reacher.
That's because Tom Cruise plays Tom Cruise, starring Tom Cruise playing Tom Cruise as Tom Cruise all the time.
5'7", and Jack Reacher is supposed to be like a 6'4", like.
I don't even know that Tom Cruise is that tall. I think you added some.
And then
Tom Cruise just gives me like Silvertooth as an adult, because he just wants to jump off stuff and be into stuff and just get into stuff, and he'd be like, "Here's the movie," and it's like, "Tom, sit down somewhere. Go lay down. Go lay down right now."
So my 1B to that is that action movie that Tyler Perry did. Like that was just
Alex Cross.
Did not see that coming.
Just in general. It was all cast wrong.
What's happening here? That was pure garbage. So yeah, those are my two good characters that got badly casted, and then again, Afterimage, if he got casted as Jaden Smith. So yeah, your turn, Q.
Oh man.
Who fucking April up?
I hope. Oh damn. Tiffany Haddish and
You know
April Johnson.
Oh my god! Oh
Tiffany
my
Haddish
god! Hey,
and April
that's
Johnson.
worse than anything I would have thought of. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Tiffany Haddish as April would be awful.
Oh man.
And
love
She
then,
ready.
oh man, yeah, I would be livid if I sold the movie rights and they did that. Oh man, I would be upset. I would be like, I don't know if y'all heard about the relationship the creator of Fruits Basket had with the first studio that did the Fruits Baskets anime.
Mhm.
She was
Mhm.
pissed. She was pissed. She said, "I'll never work with that studio again, ever. They'll never ever have rights to my property again."
Yeah.
That would be me. That would be me with Tiffany Haddish as April. Like don't nobody from that studio ever even talk to me.
Y'all are hearing about it. He could have called me and told me what happened. I'm flying to wherever he's at and I'm slapping the fire. Like, what are you doing?
Oh
They
man.
don't catch the clip.
Man.
I was so ready. I was like, man, I hope he don't take mine.
I would call up a lawyer like, "Hey, Kim, is there something we can do about this?" I need to sue somebody. Somebody getting sued. Right. I'll pay them back. I'll pay them
Like,
extra.
somebody either getting sued or you getting fought. Pick one. Because either way, it's gonna happen.
And then on
So,
worst actual
most-
casting,
Uh-huh.
I would say, is it the dude really this whole cast was bad, but the dude that they cast as Goku for Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, Dragon Ball.
I know I love some Dragon Ball, but when that came out, I was so hurt. I was
throw in
hurt.
the whole
and
cast of the
embarrassed.
Avatar movie too, since can we just burn them all?
Yeah, I was about to
Throw
say
that
the whole
in
cast of Avatar. We could just toss
Yeah.
that in there.
Toss
Throw
that
in too.
on somewhere. Saw one episode and he said, "I'ma do this. I'ma do this." But that's how he is. He catches you with his trailers. He catches you with his trailers, and then the next thing you know, you sitting up here looking at an old man put a shitty diaper in a kid's face. No, y'all laughing at it.
M. Night has great trailers and terrible movies.
Yeah.
Great trailers.
Because this old movie was.
What's that movie? It was the movie where they was like, I think it was The Fog.
Oh, The Mist.
Where it's like,
no wait,
The Mist.
The Village.
Where he kills the guys in the car, and like he kills the whole family, then kills himself, and then the army.
Oh yeah,
by.
it's the Mist.
Oh,
and then
so
the shit clears up. That's Stephen King, isn't it?
It's Stephen King's movie.
But M. Shamalaka, like however you say it.
But it was even because he kills his whole family, and then he
yeah, and the shit cleared up.
So he couldn't shoot himself. Yeah. But it was crazy.
The mist started to clear up, like right as he was about to, and the soldiers came walking by.
It wasn't just the soldiers. Remember, early in the movie, the girl was like, "I'm going to go get my daughter. Will somebody come with me?" And nobody in the store would go with her. And then she ride by on the fucking military convoy, and it's like, damn. it's like, damn. So you should have just went with her,
right? Bro, that shit had me so hot at the end of that movie. Bro, I was like, never.
The worst casting for me is I see your Halle Berry Storm, and I raised you Halle Berry Catwoman.
Oh,
that was terrible.
That was bad. That was bad.
You know what's crazy is about Halle Berry? She's such a good actor. Like, she's a great actress. And it's just like, how are you doing?
She's a great dramatic role actor because I didn't like her in any action, like when she was storming.
I liked her in John Wick.
She was John Wick. They didn't do the story well for her in Catwoman because I definitely think she had the allure and she had the kind of seductive sex appeal when she changed over. But
she seemed kind of stiff to me.
But I mean, it was the earlier time. Oh yeah,
Right.
but if you
That
saw
part.
her in John Wick, she working some
She
ass.
got it
But
together
yeah,
in
I
John
think it
Wick.
was too early. I think the movie was too early for her time for what they wanted to do. For
Yeah,
what they wanted to do and what they wanted to display. Yeah, and she was the hot
because
thing at the time, so
the
she was
movie
in
itself is
everything.
just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie itself is just bad. Like
Yeah.
even if she had been like the best Catwoman, that movie was still bad.
Still bad.
So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I didn't like
Yeah.
Baps. Like I like Baps the movie, but I didn't like her character in Baps, if that makes sense.
Baps is my guilty pleasure, man. Like that movie's terrible,
Yeah,
but I love
same.
it.
Like,
Same.
it's like, I know it's a classic,
Like-
like a hood classic, and I liked parts of it, but it was more so carried by the friend, not Halle Berry.
Yeah. But, and I agree because I could tell that Halle Berry was acting. Like I could tell that her parents made sure she was in the suburbs with like a few. They had like a few black people in the neighborhood just to say we're cultured, but you could definitely tell like she almost had no actual real experience with other black people.
You can
Which
tell
is
that
a
not that
lot of folks be living.
Like
Yeah.
you can tell that in Boomerang. She like even in Boomerang, she didn't seem like I don't know. She didn't seem organic. Like she ain't fit. But I still like her character in the movie. But which Boomerang's a classic. I love Boomerang. Shout out to her.
Bo,
We don't talk about that.
Bo, what about you? Who was the worst casting for you?
The worst casting. Let me think. Oh, I know one. Scarlett Johansson as
In anything.
Oh,
Scarlett
yeah.
Johansson in anything.
Anything, yeah.
I
Well,
like
she was
that Black
no,
Widow.
I won't say anything.
I like
She
Scarlett
was fine.
Johansson.
She was fine in Black Widow. I liked her character,
Yeah.
Black Widow. She was all right. I mean, she wasn't all that bad. I could say she was.
Hold up, man. I gotta say, man. I will say this about these white actors playing these anime characters. Some of these anime characters don't be looking Asian. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so it's like I get it, but and they even made her half Asian in the movie. But I'm like, I'm just like,
I just don't like when they be doing some of the stuff like The Last Samurai and it's fucking a white dude. It's like
Right.
That's
another Tom Cruise.
with that one. That was blatant with that
I
one.
was like, come
Right.
on, man. Like, what's up with this?
like Paul Mooney said, last nigga on earth.
Yeah, the last
Tom
nigga that shit was funny.
That's crazy.
Go ahead, Bo.
What was the other one?
Well, it was specifically to Keith and B.D. Like
Okay.
who, yeah, they're
Who would be the
best
worst
characters
person,
played by the worst people.
Okay.
You know what? For me, I have to say, fucking Jess Elsenberg as
Jesse
Lex
Eisenberg as
Luthor.
Yeah. Technically, he was Alexander Luthor, but I mean, yeah, that's still a bad cast.
And it's like, cause you know, Lex Luthor really is a whole ass dick, but he's smart as shit. So, and he does really kind of have a problem with interacting with people who he feels lesser than him and less intelligent. And he really just be going as Spider-Man simply because he can't handle the fact that there could be someone, you know, stronger. Because if we're gonna be honest, Ken Clarke ain't that much smarter than Lex, like at all. He's strong. Nigga can't fight. He cannot fight. Like don't get up here and
can we talk about that for a second?
Lie. Yeah,
Superman ain't got no hands.
None.
Like, no.
Hold on.
No hands.
Okay,
No
so we're talking about that. Who has read the Injustice comics where Alfred beat the shit out of Superman?
Alfred got hands.
Yeah.
Alfred got hands. I'm like, hold on, Alfred, hold on. You put in hands on
Yeah,
but that's the problem with Superman in general.
can't fight. And I think that also be triggering Lex too. He like, bro, if this nigga didn't have strength, I could probably handle him. That's why he be coming up with devices. But I just think that was a horrible casting. And then John Cryer in the series when they had Crisis Across multiple Earths or whatnot, when they had all the I was like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. But he just did
the cat from Smallville was the best Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that, like, the things that Cam was talking about matches some of the people that Jesse Eisenberg has played. But it just wasn't.
He always plays the same person too. He's another one who plays the same person too. Him and is it Michael Cera? Because them motherfuckers look alike.
They should do a dry
and it's one more because it's three of them. They all look alike. It's
you're right. It's Jesse Eisenberg, Michael Cera, and
it's one more.
Fuck, what's his name?
I know
exactly who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
What movie is it?
Well, shit, because they all look alike. I could get it wrong, but I swear, like if you look at now I gotta find it since I done said it.
Because Jesse Eisenberg,
I know exactly who you're talking about too.
Smarter than you.
He's just not physically imposing. Like Lex ain't no small dude. And they really like that Jesse could have he had the mentality. He just didn't have the physicality, like the presence of a Lex.
Yeah, because Jesse was great to me as Mark Zuckerberg, and I look at Zuckerberg as very much like a Lex Luthor. But him as Lex Luthor was not the same.
It's like they different, but they the same.
He was good in that little action movie he did too, American Ultra. That was a low key good movie. Yeah. Like it was
now that shit, that's my shit. That shit had me fucking laughing.
Yeah, I like him in Zombieland.
Andy Samberg, that's it. Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
So if you look at all three of them, they all look alike. Jesse, Michael, and Andy all
especially
look
when
like
Andy had the longer hair. Before he cut his hair for Brooklyn 99. Like, for sure.
I don't think Andy is as dry as they are. Like Michael Jesse Eisenberg, they walk in the room and they probably take the fun out of the room. Like when they walk in the room,
they walk in the room, everybody get cotton mouth.
I wouldn't be mad if they did like a dry humor movie with them two as like a buddy cop situation. That shit would be terribly good.
I can see that.
And one other person that I thought like for the character, and it's just it wasn't ready at the time. So basically kind of everything about the movie ended up being kind of trash. When Ryan Reynolds
Green Lantern.
As Green Lantern.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking that too. I was about to say that.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Prince of Persia.
Ooh, that's a
bad. Oh, that was very bad.
Chris Pratt is Mario.
Out yet. So, but it's not out yet, but I know.
Feel it, man.
But you know what? I actually like the part where fucking Deadpool brought in like the little clip at the end with Ryan Reynolds reading the script from Green Lantern, and then shot Ryan Reynolds. I was like, fixing the timeline.
Ryan Reynolds came a long way. Ryan Reynolds came a long way because he was in a lot of movies.
He is perfect as Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been playing Deadpool in every movie he in. Really, like,
he was just like what he was in, and his humor and his how he displays his acting. He was just not. It was not his time yet. Yeah. And then I think he hit Deadpool. And his humor and everything, it was like, okay, this is it. Because he was Deadpool in the other X-Men, but for the most part, they just had him
Yeah,
like when
Logan.
they were in the elevator. I was like, this ain't it. This ain't it. But then when he became Deadpool, it was like, okay, his humor is
But
spot
even in
on
that first
for who he
X-Men
is.
movie where when they were
He was in-
doing the mission and they were all together,
He
like
was in
he was,
Logan.
in Logan, that was perfect. But then when they when they messed him up, that's when it was weird. But like him playing Wade Wilson in the Weapon X group was great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just that Green Lantern though.
Yeah, that was the time. I think if they got somebody else and tried again, because it's a lot of movies based on books and stuff. The movie cinema and TV cinema was not made for what to bring that to life just yet.
Y'all might kill me for this, but I actually don't think he was bad as Green Lantern. I feel like the movie was bad.
No was bad.
Yeah. That's what I mean. At the time, like for the times, he was not ready, because how he does, like him playing Hal does have the, sense of humor and kind of asshole type nature that he played. But that movie just,
but the villain was like a cloud.
each other.
The villain. So, this is my hot take, and I don't know if y'all feel about it. The most important character in any story is the villain.
Absolutely.
Me. I feel like that's the most.
Your hero's only as good as your villain.
Yeah. And even amongst the anime community, Gon is a bad MC, right? That's what people say. But you have you have so many great villains in Hunter x Hunter. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, man, I just found Hunter x Hunter boring.
Wow.
Like,
wait a minute, you got hurt, Steve. You better be careful, because
thank you for saying that. I was like, I was gonna say it until someone said it. It was so boring. Every episode. No.
He said he declared war on you, Steve. He said,
man, it might be time for me to go start my own business
I'll say this. I understand. Like when I was watching because I only watched the first 2 seasons, I guess, and I can understand why people love it. Like, so don't get it twisted. It was just a little boring for me. Like I couldn't get into it, but I can see why people love his character. It reminded me of Dragon Ball Goku.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just like, okay, I like the character. I just didn't get into the story. You know what I'm saying?
If you only watched the first 2 seasons, that means you watched the hunting exams and then you watched the Battle Tower, pretty much.
Yes.
So you haven't even got to
and that's the thing. Everybody was like, you got to keep watching the Chimera. Hold up. But if you got to go through 2 seasons before I get to the good stuff, then
I think the other stuff is good already. But you about to turn up in North New City, which is the very next.
Yeah. I'll go back and rewatch it, and then we'll come back and I'll let you know, because that how this is the same way I felt about Attack on Titan.
Don't let them sit up here and bully you into that. Don't let them bully you into that.
I'll stand on all my hot takes.
Told me. Cam is actually the person that got me to watch Hunter x Hunter like 8-9 years ago.
Man,
and I don't even like it, and I don't even like it. Sometimes you can't listen to me all the time, because I be like, hey,
she just be doing this to me on live TV.
So I'm gonna say this too. At least to me, Hunter x Hunter is a show that gets better after you watch it a second time.
The rewatches,
because I liked it the first time, but it wasn't like, for me right now, it's my second favorite anime of all time. But when I watched it the first time, it wasn't that. But after I went back and rewatched it,
Yu Yu Hakusho and then Hunter
x Hunter too. Yes.
What?
Yes.
I got
That's why I always tell people Tagashi's my GOAT. I always tell people Tagashi's my GOAT, because Yu Yu Hakusho's number 1 and Hunter's number 2. Hunter x Hunter, if it finishes, it'll be number 1 to me. Like Hunter x Hunter will be my number 1. That's number 1 is not finished.
It's too many Easter eggs throughout Hunter x Hunter for you. When you watch it the first time, it's like you watched it, but then they had so many Easter eggs. When you rewatch it, you're like, oh,
right.
hinting towards
you start
this and
connecting
hinting towards
things that
this
you
the
didn't
entire
catch
time.
before.
Yeah, that I like stuff.
I'm gonna
like
watch
that.
it again. I'm gonna give y'all the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna watch it again, and then when it's still trash, I'm gonna come up here and say that.
If you watch York New City and it's trash, you can stop it. Like
Yeah.
you
If
can,
I watch what?
if you watch York New City, which is the third arc, if you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
that arc and you're not liking it, you can stop. Like there's no
Yeah,
reason
if you
to
don't like
continue.
York New, you're just not gonna like it.
But York,
And
York
it's not
New
even
City
no
is
point in getting a Chimera and art.
York New City is so fire though, bro. Like this man brought a shovel to a fight. That's enough.
See, I know about that. I do know about that. I want to see that.
But I'm gonna catch a body, so I'm gonna need this. But yeah,
I'll have to go back and check it out. But like I said, that's the same thing I felt about like Attack on Titan. Man, Eren was a terrible main character until like halfway through the second season. Like I had to force myself to watch the first season and a half of Attack on Titan. It did. Then once it picked up, then I was hooked. But it was just like,
that first season of Attack on Titan feels slow. Like it feels really slow that first season. So I just
was mad that I'm still mad, to be honest, that Eren was talking all that shit about killing Titans, and he's never killed a Titan in his human form.
Right. I'm like,
that's why he had to change. He had to change though, because he was mad. He was like, "Man, I can't catch a body." So that's why when he turned into the Attack Titan, he was catching bodies.
That time jump, I went on what was it, Blanterme, and I retracted my statement to Mike because I had told Mike Eren was trash. Like I was killing him. Like, you know what I mean? So I had to go on there and retract my statement after the time skip. But
that's fair enough. I guess I'll ask one of the questions that I had sent Cam. What was the question that I sent? Oh, out of your characters, I asked the one that I sent both. Out of your characters in your entire catalog, who would y'all say has the most drip?
That's tough.
I think I'd say Afterimage. Afterimage is the first one that comes to mind to me.
He up there. I
like the when he turns into the Afterimage and it's that blue silhouette with the uniform that he got with the hood. That shit is fire.
I would say, if I don't say Afterimage, I would say actually, like, no bullshit, I'll probably say Lauren or LL from Afterimage, because she got like this 90s swag to her. Like everything, the way she dresses is all based on like 90s culture. So like you'll see her rocking the Timbs and the overalls with the shit down, or with like the old TLC outfits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think she's the one I purposely wanted to give like some style to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would say her out of the comics that's already out. Or about to be out.
Yeah.
So there's more drip to come.
More on the way. I got one I'm working on that's I want it to feel very like kind of like JoJo inspired with the fashion. So
so then I got the one over my shoulder right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's the redesign for Sun Eaters.
I saw it. Yeah.
And so that when that debuts, Nas is gonna have some he's gonna have some new threads. It's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
So
can we see it up close, or are we gonna have to wait a bit?
Wrong shoulder.
I'm about to say wrong shoulder.
These glasses.
Let me see. Can I get it in there?
I glare.
Okay.
I see it.
Yeah. So that's a little preview of that. But they get a nice little upgrade compared to the first two issues.
Okay. I like that. We get that exclusive.
Hey.
What they look like.
So is there any character story that's kind of set at this point that that you've ever wanted to change? Like, is there any character who sets a backstory, like it's out there, and you just wanted to go back and be like, shit, I wish I hadn't put it that way or made that happen for this character's backstory or past?
I would actually say for the story for our characters that I've written, no, because I did all the tinkering before they came out. Like I'm a tinkerer to like the worst. Like if it ain't out yet, I'm still changing stuff. Like until it gets drawn, I'm still changing backstory. So I would say for the characters that have come out for me, no. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying no. I don't know what about you, Keith.
I mean, yeah, definitely no for me. I mean, I only got one book out so far, so but
and it's a banger.
But I had, I had been working on Black Lotus Dragon for like 2 years before it came out, so I have plenty of time to get all the kinks worked out. So yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I did have a story that we were about to start working on that right before we started. I was like, okay, hold on, I gotta figure some things out first, so let's not get started on that one yet. So I kind of got lucky that I figured it out and pumped the brakes.
Right. Which I did a mini retcon between Sun Eaters 1 and Sun Eaters 2, which it was nothing that you would have picked up from the first issue. But I went back and there's a whole in Sun Eaters 2, there's a whole breakdown of like how the area that they grew up in works. Like the Uncle Ranks is kind of given like the history for them. I had just wrote all of that. I had just rewritten all of that before that book came out. So that was one that actually did do like I said up until like it got printed, it was getting tweaked.
Would either of you, and also this is for you, Steve, too, because I know that you're working on your book. Would either of you, would you ever consider one writing a full villain story, or would you ever consider the villain coming out on top? Because a lot of people, when they write, they create strife and they make it hard, and at some point good prevails over evil, because that's kind of what people are used to. But could you ever see yourself like full on basically villain point of view to, it's like, oh no, we ain't got no good guys around here, like we fucking up shit? Or if you don't want to do a full villain story, could you ever see yourself like throwing all the progress of your good guy, good girl to the wind and be like, well, sometimes bad guys, because in real life, sometimes bad guys do get away. They do end up winning. So
it's funny that you asked that because there is a mini comic attached to Afterimage #1, and it's upcoming Kickstarters called Living Weapons Program, and that is from the perspective of villains. Like they're there's like this powered Black Ops team that kind of goes through, and they go through different, they destabilize governments, and they villains through and through. They just go insane. So and like you said, to the point of villains win most of the time in real life. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to break it down. So that was kind of my idea behind that. And then obviously I was in the military, so I wanted to kind of do like if you look at my stories, I've included certain aspects of the military, especially in the Outlaws #1, and Free Fall Guys #1. So for this one, I just wanted to take a different spin on it, where they're not the good guys, they're the bad guys. They going in, they shoot people, they ruthless. Like it's fun, it's a fun story. So that I did that already. I don't know if I would.
Well, how far are you willing to go with your villains?
It's a lot funner to write, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like how far are you willing to go with your villains?
I think it depends on the story. I'm willing to let the villain win if it makes sense for the progress of the narrative. At the end of the day, to me, that's the most important part. Whether it's the character, the hero winning or the villain winning, it has to make the most sense. And sometimes nobody wins. You know what I'm saying? So, or everybody loses, but everybody can lose. I'm willing to go there as long as it makes sense narrative. I wouldn't want to just shoehorn it in there because I feel like that would cheat the reader. Like if you've been building up to one thing and then you just kind of 180 like right at the last minute, similar to how in Star Wars they was boosting us up thinking that my man John Boyega was going to be a Jedi, and then he was what he was, and then so I wouldn't want to do that to the fans that would be reading the stories. So I wouldn't erase the build up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pay it off. I think that's my big thing. But yeah, floor is yours.
Keith,
what do you got?
I could definitely see myself writing a villain story. Just because I love villains. I love a good villain. I wouldn't mind doing a villain winning, but it would need to make sense and it would need to complete the story. Because I think that's the thing with heroes too, is that like if the villain wins, then where does this world go afterwards? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, do you continue the story with that villain afterwards, or because usually the big fight at the end with the hero and the villain, the hero wins because you want to end the story with that return. You get the climax, but then you get that kind of return to normalcy in a way. Whereas if the villain wins, how do you wrap the story up now? Because now there's not that return to normalcy. Do you just, the story feels like it should just continue because now the villain won. So now what happens?
Right.
But if I could, like BD just said, if I could do it in a way that makes sense to the story with the villain winning, I absolutely would. But personally, I like a die on the shield type of ending where, the hero wins, but at what cost? I like that. That kind of ending.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
When you describe it like that, I think of Injustice, how basically the Joker basically destroyed Metropolis, but then the superhero Superman basically just jab his fist into his chest and ends up becoming the villain. So I'm like, that's like a great way to like turn the story. Like a villain dies, but the hero becomes the villain. So
right.
Yeah. For me, for that same question, it's the same way. The ending would have to make sense for the villain to win, but I'm not totally against that, especially because it's not done often. And you know what I'm saying? It's not done often at all. So I would be like intrigued to make that story. And then also writing a villain story, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm kind of in that process because for Wake the Dead, it's like a light Yagami story. It's where like, they had good intentions, but they are, you know what I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, they are the villains. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that story is written. So technically, I guess I am writing a villain story, but it's going to start off and it's going to seem like, oh yeah, they got good intentions. They're doing the right thing. And then overall.
Because I think it's so easy and it's kind of become the norm to just like have a good guy, the good person, like win in the end, because like Keith says, like you can just go back to life, but then you kind of have the villain and it's like, is this gonna turn into North Korea?
Yeah. Who stops the villain? So now
So there was a really good anime that I seen like 7-8 months ago. It starts with them losing to the villain, and then the story picks up in the aftermath of all the heroes losing and having to pick themselves back up and go back and fight the villain again. And then they added like 1 or 2 new pieces and then they won. Dang, I can't remember the name of it.
That's not fire.
Right, it was really good.
Like, what was the main story of this anime?
Like, how do you even heal from that? Because that's a big step. Because you have a whole villain who's like, I'm gonna fuck all this shit up. I don't give a damn. and you decide to be the defender of all, and then you basically get your ass whooped, whether it be in front of the other heroes or a whole crowd, the whole world. But then morale starts to kind of go because there's evil happening right now, but we're not aware of it.
Right.
And so
Right.
then you kind of got to think about it from that aspect. Like, so people are out here trying to be heroes and then they losing, but you're not noticing the evil that's going on. Like, I just think it would be an interesting concept to kind of, come from a villain. And then kind of, even with villain, you kind of use that loosely because, like Steve, how you said, sometimes you start out with good intentions, but eventually, it turns on his head,
I mean,
and then you can have,
everybody's the villain to somebody.
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Because
The
I
hero's
know,
the villain to the villain.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I think that's the
exactly.
beauty of writing stories. Like, I'm working on a novel right now too. And that's one of the things I wanted to make sure is just like everybody feels like they're the hero of their story. Like, you know what I mean? So it's you never know really which side of the coin is the right side of the coin until the aftermath. And I think that's the beauty of writing like long form, narratives. You can explore that. You can really take the time and really explore it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to gather all of this and read it because I'm a big reader, but I'm definitely going.
It's inside the podcast draft. I mean the drive.
You tried. You tried. Like behind the scenes, we don't let Steve handle too much technology.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I can't get better because they won't let me do it.
We be letting you
we try to let you get better, but for some reason you fucked up at the end. And I'm like,
you know what? I'm gonna hook y'all up. I'll send y'all a sample of the novel that we're working on.
Okay.
And let you check it out.
Okay.
So that
all of y'all got the password to the email. Y'all can set up the drive.
Because
y'all be making me do it. Like, why? Want me to embarrass myself?
Yeah, because I'm ready to hate myself for loving a villain. Because that's
I think I got the villain for you.
Okay. Go ahead and slide that our way.
Yeah.
Well,
and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who's like not caught up, but I think My Hero in the manga, what they're doing right now with the hero and villains dynamic is like peak conflict, I think.
Because I know the My Villain Academia thing, everybody be talking about that.
The manga now is
after My Villain, like the war arc and beyond is like, this is like great. This is great shit. Like,
I mean, it should. They're like what 5-6 seasons into the My Hero Academia. You expect something to like happen big.
Speaking of a really good villain, like I'm reading from the manga. I'm reading Jujutsu Kaisen. I was just tweeting about that yesterday. The Shibuya incident arc. You ever get a chance to read it? The villains in that are dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is the same villain. What's the same villain? Was it Mahito?
Mahito.
Yeah. But his fights in that, his interactions in that arc are really dope.
The Shibuya incident is top tier. I can't wait for that.
Bro, I was reading it, and I'm like, yo, I couldn't even stop. I couldn't stop. I was like, I got to keep going. I was supposed to read like 2 chapters. I think I read like 20. It's crazy.
Is there any genres that you guys want to venture into if you haven't already?
Genres?
Genre, however. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
You trying to sound elegant. But is there any category? Is there any category of writing that you guys from like horror, thriller, crime, comedy? I know
or
there's a
cross?
psychological thriller that I talked to BD about offline that I want to try to do.
Mhm.
And I was like talking to them, trying to get it into the Concept Moon magazine. I was talking to them. That's some behind the scenes stuff that I was trying to cook up. But it's a psychological thriller crime thing that I want to get into one day.
Mhm.
I have a project that I've been kicking around in my back of my mind. It's like a period piece, in a way. And I've been trying to. It's one of these things. Well, I kind of have the setting, but I'm trying to decide what the story is in the setting. You know what I'm saying? But it's like a historical. It's like a historical drama action kind of deal. I don't want to give up. I don't want to say too much, just in case people try to steal my idea. You know how the internet is, but there was I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you guys remember this controversy from the guys that did Game of Thrones. They were going to do a story called "If the Confederacy Won." It was going to be called Confederate.
Oh
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out on HBO, but
Yeah, and they canned it.
No.
So something like that, but it's something like that. But if we actually got our 40 acres in a mule, you know what I'm saying? And so I have like this world I built out, and I'm just trying to figure out what is the story, like how do I want to tell the story. So when I figure that out,
who do you want to put there?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to have it where it's a person come from the future to the past, or do I want to just kind of use a historical figure or make up a figure and then build the story around that? Like, so, but yeah, it'll be a period piece, and I'm big. If anybody knows me, I'm a big history buff. So I've been looking at maps from like 1863 and like reading texts and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to do a period piece. Because that's one thing I think all of my worlds have been made up so far. So I would like to do one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to. I'd like to do a horror. I have an idea I've been working on, but it's just not there yet. But I want to do a horror, and I'd also like to do like a slice of life drama. But I think that'll probably be my toughest challenge, honestly, just because there's no action to carry. Like, it's got to all be drama,
right?
And
I just started trying to write a romance slice of life. And I don't know if I shared that with you, Keith, but I don't even know what it is. It's like three or four pages of just like, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to figure it out because, like you said, it's really difficult. Like especially when you write like a shonen style story, it's just like, okay, well, I just got to get to this next fight. Like, how I got to make sense.
You got to have some meat on the bone,
right? But like without that, it's just like, oh, okay, well, how can I give these characters real substance, real agency, make have these precious moments in a way that doesn't feel manufactured? So it's definitely different.
Okay. And I got one last question, then y'all can do what y'all want to do. Go brush your teeth, put your deodorant on, have a good day. All of that good stuff. But as Black writers, do you feel like there is any kind of role you have to be into or fulfill, even if it hasn't been like no one's approached you, because representation is everything, and whether someone has brought it to you or not, is there anything as Black writers that you have kind of felt that you need to bring to the table, that you need to present, and what would you say to younger, older, any aged Black artists who is kind of wanting to go along the path that you are, or just along the path to get their art out to other people?
Right. You want to take this one first? Or let me go.
If you got something, you go first. I gotta think about it for a second.
That's right.
I would say. I would say.
Oh well, Steve, you can answer too, because like I said, you are also a writer. You are a Black artist. Barely, but
Not
barely.
barely,
But, like I said, barely.
Honestly, what I would like to
Uh-huh.
bring as a writer and a creator is levity, diversity. Because growing up, who are the two most popular black comic book characters you can think of, right? Black Panther and Blade, right? And I'm like,
Static.
when I go back to my
Static.
static, yeah, and when I go back through my mental Rolodex of characters, every prominent black character outside of Static was super stoic and super serious, and they took themselves way too seriously, and they were, and I want to have characters that are black, that are fun, that are, swashbuckling, that are lazy, that are, what I mean, all of these, everything. I want to have this diversity of who we are, because all of us are different. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
Yeah.
that's what I want to write. I want to have characters that it's like, you, outside of them just being black, you wouldn't know that they were black. You know what I'm saying? As far as how they're written. Now, maybe some of the things they deal with and some of the things they talk about would be, okay, that's cultural. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of my thing, because we don't got no black Indiana Joneses, we don't got no black Star Lords, we don't have no black Pirates of the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, those are the stories that need to be created, because we've been in the same 3 or 4 kind of roles pretty much since existence, or since we've gotten out of the
stereotypical, the racist caricatures.
Exactly. The caricatures. Yeah, like we kind of get stuck in those roles. Yeah, I understand.
So, but what I would say to writers, it's kind of what I said to Steve, is just do it. Like, if you want to do it, do it. And, reach out to people, reach out to me. I'm always going to be a resource for creators if I can be it. But just do it. Just start writing. Just start. If you want to write a certain kind of way, read a book from that place. I remember when this is going to be kind of weird. When I first started, I was doing music back in the day, like everybody did at one point in their life. One of the best pieces of advice I got was, pick a song that you feel like is perfect and listen to that song, and then you try to mix your music or make your music sound on that level. So pick a book, pick a writer, read their work, and then just do it. Because at the end of the day, your first draft is going to suck anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just get that one out of the way and then go back and revise. Don't think about it so much. Just do it. That's my advice to writers and creators.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it's pretty much the same thing. I want to create the stories that I wanted to see growing up. Because, growing up, we didn't see a whole lot of black characters, in that diversity that B.D mentioned. Like, you kind of you have a small pool of characters that they would make black, and if you hang around black people, the characters are not a small pool. Like, there's such a wide range of characters among black people. So that's definitely something that I want my stories to reflect. And like growing up, I feel like, and it's not, I don't want this to come off as like a flex or anything, but like, my mom always tried to support black entertainment. So like, anytime she saw any type of cartoon or kid show, or even like a B movie or whatever, if it was with black characters and made by black people, she did whatever she could to support it. So like, I have like cartoons that I saw as a kid that, some people never even knew existed. I'm very fortunate that I got that experience. But that has also shaped my approach to entertainment, because it showed me that, like, okay, yes, we can do these things well. Like, you can have all these different types of stories with black characters. It doesn't have, white is not the default, so it's very important to me to show that, which is why like all the stories that I'm working on are all very different, and they all have different characters, but most of my characters are still Black in all of those stories, and obviously, and I do want to have, I don't want it to only be Black. There will be diverse cast, with other ethnicities, but definitely want to show that, Black people are not only this way. We can also be this way. This way. Like it's not like it's Black stories, but it's stories. So,
Yeah.
It's a story first.
Yeah.
Story first,
like
Black second.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
we ain't
Like,
got
these
no
are
Black
just
Vulcans or
characters.
Black Lightnings or Black Thunders or none of that shit in our story.
But yeah, I mean, advice to a young writer is just, write write a story that you like, write a story that you want to see. Like BD said, take an example of something that you like. Don't copy it, take influence, but don't, still take influence, but still make it your own. Because I've seen people write stuff that, was just like the thing that they liked. And it's like, well, if you're making it just like that thing, then what do you bring that's different? Because if it's just like that thing, we can just go to that thing. If you make Dragon Ball Z, if I want to see Dragon Ball Z, I can just watch Dragon Ball Z. Don't give me Dragon Ball Z. You can have Dragon Ball Z influence. That's awesome. But give us a spin on it somehow still. But yeah, just get to writing. I mean, that's the easiest thing. Like, just get to it. Don't be afraid to just start. Because if you feel like it needs to be perfect before you start, you're never going to start. So just start and then work on it as you go. If you feel like you want to go back and revise things or change something, then you've already started so that you can go back and change something.
And take criticism, but be careful who you get criticism from.
Oh yes.
You have to be open to being wrong, but at the same time, you don't need somebody that don't have no experience and don't have that has nothing to give you, giving you critiques. Like, you know what I mean? Because a good critique is going to say, well, you did this wrong, and maybe you could do it like this, or maybe you could, build this portion up or build this character up. If somebody just tells you, oh, this is trash, that's horrible, like that's not good criticism. Like, you need to find somebody that's going to actually build you up, that's going to tell you what you can fix, tell you where you can improve. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't get that Gordon Ramsay criticism, because I know some people.
Confidence.
He'd have got uppercut if I was on that show.
Because anytime somebody asks me for criticism, I always make sure to tell them like these things are good. Like, that's part of criticism too, is telling them like these things are good. These things could use some work. These things maybe, these things can be taken out. These things maybe just need a couple tweaks. This needs to flow a little bit better. But you don't want to just say, okay, all of this is trash, like start over. It needs to be, this is good. This could use some work. This could probably come out. Like, that's how criticism should go, not just this stinks.
And again, you got to be open to it. You got to listen to it, because I remember I get a lot of stories. Because typically when people submit stories to us, I read them. I'm the one that reads them. And so I remember I was talking to one gentleman, and I was reading the story, and I told him, I was like, look, man, like, your story's good. There's some good elements to it, but there's no story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that really makes me want to keep reading through these events. And I was like, you really need to just tweak your story before you put it out. And he got really offended. He was just like, well, my story's great. I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, well, I'm not going to make your story. Like, go find somebody else. I'm like, go find somebody else who's going to make your story. But I'm telling you that if you want me to put it out, you need to this is what you need to fix. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be open. But don't let people be disrespectful to you.
Facts. I know, like with the way that I've done with my writing or whatever, I find like 5 or 6 of my best forms of fiction, whether it be anime, comics, even mafia movies, things like that. And I immerse them into one thing, and then I try to make a story out of it because I feel like some of the best, like I said, I feel like the villain is your most important character in the story. Well, some of the best character development that you get out of some villains, you see in The Godfather, just watching him turn into, you know what I'm saying, the big mobster, gangster, and stuff like that. So I'm like, I like the way that style is, and then other writing concepts is like How to Get Away with Murder. I love the back and forth, how they kind of do and they jump around, just like little aspects like that. And you can use those and kind of like turn those into a story. And that's
There's
kind of
something
how,
new.
that's how what I do with it. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
and I'm the same way because you know, you it may not look exactly like it on the surface, but like Black Lotus Dragon is like it's Hunter x Hunter, it's Sailor Moon, it's Kill Bill,
Yeah,
it's elements that I pulled from all these different things that I like and kind of spun them into this new thing.
yeah,
And I mean that's kind of because most times you're not going to do something that's completely new, but you still, you need to do something with your own spin on it to where at least it feels like it's something new. So
Right.
facts. Oh, shoot, we're at the little 2 hour 10 moment. You know what I'm saying? We did some time, but I mean,
yeah, we've been going.
I really, really, you know what I'm saying, we having a good conversation. So that's the best part of it. But I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Thank y'all so much. Would you guys plug all your social
Thanks
media
for
and
having
everything?
us.
Oh, of course, of course. You want to
Definitely
plug?
enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. I hope you guys
Yeah.
have like total advancement from here.
Oh
Just
yeah.
to the moon
Oh,
and back.
thank you.
Speak, put
Thank
that in
you.
the
Thank
universe
you.
for me. Go ahead and manifest that for
Yeah,
me.
This ain't the
go
last
ahead.
time.
It's out there. It's out there. And I really hope y'all are successful. I hope people are able to find something in your characters, whether it be a good guy, a villain, a side character. I hope that you guys can just bring it all to the table and there's just a feast for days for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to plug y'all social media so people can find y'all and everything.
Hey, at Concept Moon, IG, Twitter, bigger than everybody, Bobby on IG, BD underscore Diddley on Twitter, Concept Moon Studios on Facebook. I think I got all of them this time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Strange Keith on Twitter and Strange Keith CM on Instagram. And then again, Concept Moon on Twitter, Instagram, conceptmoon.com. Yeah, Afterimage #1 coming on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I was about to say plug the Kickstarter.
October 1st.
Yeah. October 1st that launches. The pre-launch link is available right now. So if you head to our Twitter or Facebook, or I know Instagram is kind of weird with links sometimes, so that may not be the best place, but the pre-launch link is definitely available so that you can sign up to be notified as soon as the Kickstarter goes live.
Yeah. And you will not be disappointed with this one, I promise.
Yeah,
we got some dope stuff. We got some.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of this stuff like, okay, I need that. I need that. I need that.
Listen. Afterimage #1 is about to be fired. But listen, we got so much stuff for y'all in the tank. Like I can't even. Listen, I'm so excited. I will sit here and talk for another 2 hours about all the crazy content we got coming. Like Afterimage #1 is just the beginning.
That's
The
why
tip of
you
the
guys are going to
iceberg.
come back.
Yeah, we definitely
You
get
guys
out.
going to you guys are going to come back and you go ahead and drop all that new stuff on us and continue
Oh, for sure.
success.
Yeah, so I think Keith got the most appearances on It Mob now. He got
Uh-huh.
3. Yeah, because you got 3 now because you was on the
Three
villain
now?
episode.
Wow.
yeah.
No, I gotta come back. I'll come back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep running it up, man. I might as well. I'm gonna be a host.
Yeah,
Make me a host.
That's what being host, a special guest, special guest host. But yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
man. Thanks again for having us on here, man. We love,
of course.
coming to join y'all. So we definitely appreciate it.
Definitely, this is definitely one of my favorites to come on.
Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Jay.
And to all the fans out there listening, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
All
Bye.
right. Thanks again.